Hi, I'm Ying. Have you ever tried those delicious barbecue buns? We call it baos in Chinese. The soft dough and saucy fillings. They are just delicious. That's what I'm going to teach you today. But with a twist, we're going to make a Kungpao Baos. So first we're going to make a dough. Very simple. Use your bread machine. Really, it's just so easy. What we need to do is we're going to use 3/4 cups of water. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon oil, 2 teaspoons sugar, and 1/8 spoons of salt. Then we can add 2.5 cup cake flour. You can use regular flour if you want to. Then we're going to add yeast and put back in the bread machine and put on dough cycle. Well, it takes about an hour and a half, and the dough is ready to go. So just that simple. So now I'm going to put back in the bread machine. While we start the dough, let's make our fillings. The fillings that I'm using is country boneless ribs. And what I did is I baked them at 350 degrees for about an hour and a half. And then let it cool and cut them into cubes. So I already got this done. So these are the cut up pork. And then, like I said, we're going to use Kungpao instead of the regular barbecue. And this is my sauce. They are all natural and low in sodium. But the best part is the taste is so good. It's a little sweet, little tangy, and little spicy. Just delicious. Delicious. So now let's get started making our fillings. So making fillings is very simple. We're just going to start the heat. We add already cooked barbecue. Add our already cut up the pork, and add that's about 2 cups, which is about 1 pound. And I'm going to use also a cup of sauce because we want very, very saucy. So you just add the sauce and let it simmer so the flavors will cook in. So we just add the sauce and then we just let it cook on low for a little bit. And like I said, I like it a lot of sauce, so make sure you add plenty of sauce. And the sauce on the steamed buns is just delicious. So I'll say let it cook about 2 or 3 minutes. And then we're going to put in a container and put it back in the freezer. Let it just freeze a little. That way it's easier for us to handle when we put in the dough because it's a lot of sauce. Since the pork is already done cooking, we just want to add the sauce together. Cook the sauce in the meat for a little bit. I think this is ready. Smells already very good. So first we want let it cool first before we put it in the freezer. Okay, so let it cool for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we're going to put it in the freezer. Let it just freeze a little bit before we making the buns. When we come back, we're going to show you how to put this together. So now our dough is ready. So let's make our dough. This is so easy. You don't have to handmade your dough. Just put in the machine and just wait until it's done. So we're just going to lightly dust the working surface with our cake flour. And then we just need it just lightly Then we're gonna make it cylinder shape, and we're gonna cut it. I like to cut in half first. That way, we'll make it even sizes baos. And then each side, I'm gonna make another half, and each half you can make 3 of those 3 pieces. We try to make them even, so the cooking time will be the same. So now we have total 12. We're going to make 12 steamed buns or balls. So I just roll it into a ball and then press it down so they'll be around. Don't have to be perfect, but try to do as much as you can. Do it as well as you can. So we're growing up just when we make steamed buns or dumplings. Children always help to roll the dough pieces into a ball. So then the parents are going to make them into the wrap. Then we're going to roll into a round, almost like disc, with a rolling pin. And if you cannot find these rolling pin, you can use the big one, but just make sure you be careful. Try to make the edges a little thinner because you're going to gather the edges, and the middle a little thicker because we're going to have the fillings in. So now I'm just going to roll this into a wrap. So you don't want to do it too thin, it's just thin enough so we can put some fillings in, okay? So now we're gonna put about 1 or 2 tablespoons, two heaping tablespoon fillings. You don't want your fillings totally completed frozen, but you want to just a little bit firm, so that the sauce is not run all over the place. It's just easier to work with. So first we're gonna make the wrap. Don't have to make it very, very thin, just roll a few times, and then we're gonna put a filling, about 2 tablespoons. And then that's how Chinese people do. We just gather all the edges with 2 fingers, while the other hand cannot feed the edges. And you just gather them all together. That's how you make a pleat. But for people who don't want to make it complicated, you don't have to make those pleats. I will show you another way to do it. It's very simple. So make a dough, and then put the 2 tablespoon fillings in. And you can just gather the edges together with 2 hands and like that. So just pinch it close, okay? Don't have to be perfect. It will taste the same. And in fact, the typical barbecue buns, they always have the top open, so you don't have to just completely sealed. This is our Kungpao buns. The same idea, just different filling. This is the flavors, delicious. So like I said, if you don't know, you just gather them and pinch them to the middle, and then try to close it. So that just works fine, okay? So roll into round, like disc. Don't have to be too thin. And then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons, about 2 tablespoons fillings. And like I said, then we can move this out of the way so I can show you. Just gather your edges, okay? So these dough are very pliable, so you can gather them and pinch them. Works really well. So you do the rest the same way. So make sure your the bottom have a little bit dry flour so it won't stick on the counter or any surface you place it on. Now we're done making this Kungpao Baos. So we're gonna first heat some water. So we want to put 2 inches depth of water. So make sure you have enough water to steam for 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. So now you can use a cheesecloth and a steamer, so it won't stick, the steam buns won't stick on the bottom. Or you can just brush oil. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to brush the oil on the bottom of the rack. So just you can use also spray, oil spray. And then we're just going to place them about 2 inches apart. You don't want to too close because these are yeast dough, so they will rise. So we made total 12 buns. We used up all the fillings and all the dough. So perfect. Now my pot is boiling. And then we're going to just stack them, place on top. When the pot boiled again, so we want to steam them 5 more minutes. And then that will be done. Now the steamed buns are done. And I let it sit for a minute or two so it won't be too hot when we try to get them out. So let's see. Delicious. Look at these. I think some of the restaurants sell them out like for $1.90 each. Look, you can make so much yourself. It's delicious for lunch. You can use as lunch, dinner, or snack. I even eat sometimes for breakfast. Why not? Have all the protein, have your bread, everything. It's delicious. And then you can use some sauce if you prefer. And I made some sauce. Also, the sauce is very simple. I have my soy sauce, a little bit sesame oil, a little bit rice vinegar, and if you like spicy, put a little bit hot sauce. And then enjoy. Look at this inside. It's delicious. A little sweet, little spicy, and little tangy. It's just delicious. It's full of juice. You had to make some at home. Honestly, you really don't need sauce because the sauce we put in the filling, it has everything you need. Have fun cooking.